Please give it up for Chapin, everybody.
Hi.
Hey. Okay. Now you can hear her. So
Hello.
we
Hi.
are
Hello.
anyway, Chapin. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
So how your streams been? I noticed you haven't been streaming as much lately. Like, are you just been busy, or like what's been going on through life lately? Because you used to be on all the time.
I know. I try to do twice a week. I was working two jobs there for a minute and life was very hectic. So it was like streaming kind of got thrown to the back burner a little bit. So when I first started streaming, I was streaming 3 times a week at the same time. So like my usual morning time here. But yeah, so I'm trying to get back on Tuesday mornings, Friday afternoon, evenings.
Tackling any work and streaming is definitely a leech. Like, you don't have any energy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you have like a ritual or I mean, you live in a very nice place, so I'm assuming you have like many outlets to channel energy to stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like mantras or anything that you do to prepare for stream?
I don't know. I just try and stay positive for streaming and like just mainly just being like sort of like lenient with myself when it turns into like a Friday and I'm like already at my one job and then I'm like I cannot stream this afternoon, so then I just cancel it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, just being compassionate for myself. Not really a mantra, but trying to go easy on myself when it comes to burnout, I guess. If that makes sense.
You definitely have to be mentally 100% to get on the camera. Like,
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for sure.
for sure. So let's start at the beginning here. How old were
Sure.
you when you started playing guitar?
6 years ago, so I was 24.
Oh, so you picked it up a little bit later in life. Like you didn't like
Yeah.
play it as a kid or
Yeah,
anything.
I got my first guitar from Craigslist.
Wow, Craigslist. So, do you guys remember Craigslist? Like, you can find anything on there, right? You can find a
You can
job.
still find anything on Craigslist. I got a couple jobs off of Craigslist before.
Really? Like what? If you
Yeah.
don't mind
I
sharing.
worked at the zoo, a bunch of admin jobs. You can get anything on Craigslist.
So the zoo was so desperate to find people that had to post on Craigslist.
Yeah, on
That's
Craigslist, yeah.
interesting. What'd you
Yeah.
do at the zoo?
I was like a summer school teacher, so I was just wrangling 35-year-olds in a zoo all summer.
Summer school. Did you teach Did you like
Yeah,
train
so
the
I taught
classes,
like
or?
yeah, it was like just like conservation stuff or like specific animal weeks. We did like I don't know, like a carnivore week, an herbivore week, like that sort of thing. Just getting kids interested in animals and conservation, that sort of stuff.
What made you want to pick up the guitar? Were you just bored one day? Did you want to become a performer? Like, did you want to write music? Like, what was it?
I don't know. I always liked music and I always wanted to do music, and then I did pick up guitar. So I got my guitar on Craigslist and it kind of just sat in my room for like a year because I was too scared to like get lessons. So I was like, I'm too old to get lessons. You know what I mean?
Never too old.
I started taking lessons and I was like, nah, this is pretty sweet. And so that's kind of just it.
Oh, okay. So it just kind of came from above, basically, and just thought one
I
day
think so. Yeah.
you just want to play guitar one day. Like, this is a cool
Yeah.
instrument. You can channel yourself. Like, do
Yeah.
you feel a spiritual connection with music like that?
Sometimes like I released my EP and like I never thought that I would do that or be doing music or streaming. Like that wasn't something like when I first started guitar, it was just I liked music. And then I don't know, here now 6 years later it feels kind of crazy to like compare those things. So yeah, I don't know. It feels kind of spooky spiritual if you think about it.
So do you feel like you can artistically express yourself the most when you're playing guitar?
I
Hard
think
to
it's
put
one of
into
the ways I express myself. I went to art school for 2 years. So like I've done visual arts like my whole life, and then I don't know, it was kind of like sideways found my way into musical art.
So then how did this lead to Twitch? Like, how did you learn about Twitch? What made you want to start on there?
I used to watch people play games on Twitch, like 2016 maybe. You know, like it has like the recommendations on the side, and I saw someone doing music, and it was actually call sign Scarecrow, so it was Maddie.
Really?
He was like one of the first people I ever saw playing music, and I was like, that's so fun, and like he's so talented, and like what he does with looping is not something that I could do, but I do love watching when people loop, and like I wish I could loop, I can't. But it's such a cool experience, and so it was always like something I knew existed from that point on. And then I got into music more, and then I was just starting to gig, and I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do more than just gigging. And like the way I was gigging, I was like going through my friend, and I don't know, it just sort of like it wasn't working anymore. And I was like, well, I want to do something myself, and I didn't have gear for like gigging live, and I was just using her stuff. So I was like, well, I can stream. There's like no downfall to it really. You can just jump into it, and if it sucks, it sucks, and if it works out, it works out. And so I just kind of like jumped into it. And I don't know, Twitch music community is like very special. Like everyone, you kind of find your own spot and you find your little like corner of the community and you just make your friends. And it's just so lovely for the most part, I would say.
Agreed. I always tell everybody the Twitch music community is full of amazing people.
Yeah.
Couple of sour apples, but 99%.
There's always going to be sour apples
Yeah.
for sure.
What would you say are some of the weird, or one of the weirdest things that you've heard someone say?
I mean, I've had people, I've had people come in and just like call me like pet names, and like for the most part, I figure it's not quite the same as like an endearment. So like I've had people call me like their petal, like, oh, my beautiful petal, or like my pearl, or my princess, or my cupcake, and that's always a little uncomfortable. And Winter will usually get them. You kick them out straight away. I had someone call me his little diamond, and like he would like send me messages, and then I stopped. Like I didn't respond because like I'm okay, like that's fine. And he started telling me I needed singing lessons and like I needed help, and like I don't know. You find weirdos everywhere. They show up. They find their way around.
It's the internet. Welcome to
It is the internet, exactly. It comes with the whole territory of it all. So you can, there's so many lovely people to outweigh the absolute weirdos that find their way to our streams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Though sometimes the weirdos can be supportive financially. So, I mean, just keep it clean, guys. If you're going to say something, or at least pay up. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I had someone come in pretending to be Ed Sheeran.
What? How?
They were just pretending to be Ed Sheeran. They're like, hey, can you play my hit song, whatever it was? And so like we had a bit of fun with them, but they eventually got banned because it is quite weird. But
oh man,
I don't know.
Love to see that. I've yet to deal with someone who's imitating someone, but everyone is just straight up weird or says something like really absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
I'm into pineapple on pizza. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Is everybody else like pineapple on pizza? You better. Or if you don't, you'll be banned. I remember you celebrated I think it was like your 3rd or 4th anniversary not too long ago. When did you start again?
I started in 2019, so my 3-year anniversary is going to be in October.
October. Okay, so October 2019. That was a little bit before lockdown. So
yes. Yeah.
It was. Would you say that Twitch was definitely a different world during lockdown? Those 3 months. Viewership
I think
was
so.
higher.
I think I think we got a lot more people on Twitch as a whole. Like so many more people joined the community. Like so many more musicians joined because they needed a place to like still earn money, because like musicians are the first ones to get cut and like the last ones to get back out into it. So we got a lot of new musicians and we got a lot of new people hanging out online, which is cool with me. Got to hear a lot of new music.
Yeah, it was a really awesome time to discover new people.
Yeah,
because a lot of people didn't go on Twitch prior to lockdown. Like I went on like a couple of years beforehand just to watch gamers like you did, like you know, here and there, like notable people like UFC fighters and celebrities and voice actors. And then I saw the Violin Habit and McDoodle and like, hey, there's people playing music on here.
Yeah.
And then they inspired me to pick up my instruments again and do this. So it's like it's a circle, it's like a cycle. So
totally
crazy, right? It's inspiring, like how you're inspired too. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so many awesome people on here. So would you like to play a song for us?
Sure. What would you like to hear?
So you mentioned that you released your EP not too long ago, but congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. It's very exciting for me too.
Yeah.
I can play Amber.
So what's the story behind Amber? Is that the color or a name?
It's more of like the substance. It's not a crystal. It's not goop because it's solid. That doesn't. It's more about the concept. There's a line that's like bugs and amber held forever, and so it like I was really upset. I had my heart broken, and so it was like right at the very beginning of me trying to get over this guy and like not wanting it to be over, basically. Yeah, it's a really, I don't know. It makes me sad when I play it because I can remember like exactly writing it and just being like so sad. It's a bummer of a song. I hate to bring the mood down, but it is.
I mean, if it's gonna bring your mood down, I hope it doesn't. But...
No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I sing it on stream all the time. It's all right.
Sweet. Yeah, it is a good song, by the way. I've
thank you very much.
I haven't had much of a chance to listen to. I haven't been because every time you stream, I'm always working, so it's like
yeah,
drop a work,
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, please give it up for the amazing Chapin.
Hey, let's fall through the stars, fall through the ages to the sea floor, fall again, start again with me and your arms. Time still spreads when we ask. So I ask, did you ask? 100 years ain't nothing to us. Fall again to my arms, my arms. Are we meant for this? Golden light, fossil lights, fossil lights. Bugs in amber, held forever, still alive, still alive. Time still spreads when we ask. So I ask, did you ask? Did you ask? Fall again, fall again. There you go. Hey, what's up, birds? Hey, thank you very much.
So,
Like I said, kind of a downer, but thank you for letting me play it. Thanks for having me on.
yeah, no problem, man. I can feel the sadness in that song. It just kind of hits you. I've been
It's a
there.
sad one.
So, your EP. Tell us about the recording process of all that. Like, did you go to a studio? Like,
So recording process, I've discovered about myself that I really don't enjoy that.
what do you mean?
I don't know. I find recording so frustrating. I'm very much a perfectionist, so I find it like absolutely grueling to not be able to like fix every little thing forever and ever and ever, because perfection is like, it's like an unattainable point in the future. You'll never get there. You're just trying to get as close as you can, and in trying to get as close as you can, you just be working and working forever and just driving yourself insane, which is what I did. I did not go to studio. I just used this mic and Logic on my computer. It took me like months to get everything down, and then I did vocals, and then I went online and, well, I looked around here first for a producer and like a mix and master person, because I thought I could do it myself, and turns out I can't. That's not in my skills. So I was talking to my friend and she's like, why don't you look for someone online? So I went to, I don't even remember what the website's called, but you can just like search for someone to do the mixing and mastering, and you can like hear clips of projects they've already worked on. And so I reached out to a couple producers, and yeah, I met my friend Simon, and Simon, it's not Fiverr. It's like more than $5. Like you pay them actual money. They're like real producers. And so yeah, Simon's in Austria, and he did the mixing and the mastering, and like I'm working on new songs, and he's down to work on an album with me. So yeah,
wow,
just worked out.
So you completely recorded it all at home, no studio time, nothing like that. That's why it sounds so warm and fuzzy. Like
yeah, because it's just me and this mic essentially. And like I sent it all to Simon, and he's like, yeah, it's really unconventional to plug in an acoustic. Like you should really get a better mic to do like the figure 8 or something. I'm not sure what he was talking about, but I got to get another mic for recording next time.
Okay. Yeah. Is that a newer mic? Because I don't remember you ever having that. Or
this is the mic I've had since like a couple months into streaming. Yeah.
Okay.
Twitch helped, like my local community helped me get this AT 2020 back in probably 2019. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a silver mic for some reason. I kind of with the lighting, or
it could be the lighting. Yeah. Because the computer that I usually stream on is from 2014. The video is probably not as exciting as this, essentially.
What are you using right now? Are you using your laptop?
I'm just using my laptop. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I figured it's ancient and it doesn't always work, so it might not have worked for the video call. So I was like, I'll just try this computer instead. So.
Let's kind of go back to Hawaii a little bit. I've always been kind of curious about your lifestyle there, because every time you post something on Instagram, like you're always out and about. Like, what's life like living there? Did you grow up there? Are you originally from somewhere else and moved there, or like?
I am born and raised here, so I'm from here as much as I can be. My family's all from Canada, so it's just like my immediate family is out here, and then everyone else is near Toronto. So I'm technically Canadian.
Oh, I love Ontario.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I lived on the mainland for a couple years when I went to art school, but it's very different to that. And I lived in Ireland for 2 years. It's very different to that. I don't know. Everyone likes to be outside, and it's very laid back. We call it island time for a reason. Like everyone is very laid back.
Wow. So I always hear that it's so expensive there, and like crazy living. Like going back to like the outdoor stuff. Like, are you an outdoorsy girl? Do you like to go hiking a lot with your dog?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, Mana loves hiking. I can show you some pictures of Mana on the hike. He loves to be outside. He goes crazy at the beach. Try and be outside as much as possible. Like there's certain hikes where he can go off his leash because it's pretty quiet, and it'll just be me and him in the forest for the most part. But yeah, for the most part, everyone here is pretty outdoorsy. It's just part of life here to be outside and to like appreciate nature. And yeah,
you got the weather, the climate, and the locale. So, and Kat asks, do you surf?
I am terrible at surfing, so no, I do not. I like to float in the ocean, and that's about it. That's it. So I wish I was a surfer girl. I think that would be an amazing lifestyle, but it's not for me.
It's very physically taxing and dangerous, but if you're living on the edge that way, it looks cool. I tried boogie boarding a few times, and
boogie boarding is super fun. Yeah.
Do you ever go to the beach to like to calm yourself? Like, is that your place to go, or is it just on a trail? Like, where's your go-to place there?
I mean, both. I think both for sure. I was at the beach with my boyfriend last night, and it was so quiet and so nice, and there's so many stars, and it's just, I don't know, there's something special about the ocean. It's very peaceful. I totally get what you're saying.
So going back to your stream, I want to touch back on that. Like, how I always ask everyone this: how do you pick your song list? Because I know you got some really cool emo tunes in there. So
yeah.
How do you pick it?
When I first started, it was just songs that I liked. I have like a whole section on my song list. If you click on like the little green frog at the top, that'll be like suggested songs. So that's like songs people have come in and been like, hey, why don't you try this? And then I tried. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds okay. So then I'll add songs like that. I try to keep it updated. Like I said, I was so busy the past couple months, so it's been a little bit hectic to try and like learn new songs and add new songs. But I try and find new stuff, listen to new stuff, and It's mainly just songs that I like to listen to. I'm kind of a music snob, honestly.
A snob? Like, are you picky with your songs or?
Yes, I'm picky. Yes, very.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of like radio sort of stuff on there. I'm not really that into pop music, and that sounds like so snotty, but it is just the truth.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, did you grow up listening to the radio, watching MTV, like?
Kind of. Yeah, like I definitely know certain pop songs from like the 90s, definitely. But like for a while here, I don't know, like Hawaii music is very like small. So if someone is a big deal here, then that music will be, because we're so far away, that's all that's going to be existing here. So if it's popular here, then it's like all anyone listens to, because then it's, I don't know, it's like not a hive mind, but like for like a minute there, like there was a certain group of like emo stuff that came through and I was in middle school. It was like emo and like sort of like alternative rock was really popular, and it wasn't so much like the usual pop stuff. So we had like Coheed and Cambria came out here, and like the Used came out here, that sort of thing. And it was, I don't know. So that there's like a part of me that like really does enjoy that sort of music. Yellow Card. Exactly. Card. And I don't know if that was on the mainland too, but it was really big here for a while. And so like that's all anyone listened to. So then we lucked out and they came out for concerts and stuff. And so that was kind of a fun minute. But
so what about like Pepper? You know the band Pepper?
Oh yeah, totally.
Love them.
Yeah.
They're like, I saw them at the Warped Tour once, and they're like the most chill, laid back dudes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're so fun. So who else would you say?
Yeah. My Chemical Romance was pretty big. I don't know how, like, I mean, they're fairly emo. Dashboard Confessionals. So I was like very influenced by like my older brother's music taste, because he was way deeper into that than I was. But yeah, I'd say those are probably my top emo.
Awesome. So you're totally in there. If you have the Used or Take It Back Sunday or anything like that on your list, we are going to get along just fine. So when I first saw that on your list, I was like,
the Used had some pretty good songs back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like consistently like good to listen to. Like some bands they'll have like one or two and it'll be like, oh yeah, of the era. But like, I don't know. I feel like the Used were like really good. Maybe that's just me really liking the Used. I don't know.
Oh, they're an amazing band. Yeah. They're just totally legendary. They have so many hits. Like, so you have amazing art skills. It's so simple, yet so...
Thank you very much.
Intricate, so to say. Yeah, there you go. You got some merch. Would you want to create merch with like Mana on it, or like, do you want to make a brand out of yourself?
I had merch for tour, and I was thinking about doing more merch. My friend Q Yonetta on Twitch, he streams. He like does art. He does like philosophy. He's incredible. So he helped me with the tour merch.
Awesome. Awesome segue there, by the way. Tell us about your tour. It looks so fun. Like, I've been wanting to ask you about it for a while now, because I think you kind of discussed it a little bit, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Like tour was a blast. It was, when I first had the idea, I was like, well, it's coronavirus. I don't know who's going to want to hang out with a complete stranger, like an internet stranger, during pandemic. And so I kind of like put it in the back of my head. I was like, oh yeah, it'll happen. And then, I don't know, the numbers got kind of low. And so I sent out my feelers and I was like, how would you feel about this? And I sent it out to like, for the most part, everyone that I was on tour with were people who used to come to my stream when I first started, when I had like 5 viewers, and we would just hang out. And like, they're some of my favorite like music people to hang out in. And so it was just like that. And so I sent out emails and I was like, hey, do you want to be a part of this? Like, would you be interested? And then, I got busy. Life gets busy around then. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do it. And so I like reached out to everyone more seriously. And it was just a lot of planning and a lot of like rental cars, hotels, and then asking people if I could stay with them, and then being like, yeah, sure, why the hell not? And it was so much fun. It was like one of the best things I've ever done. It was so much fun.
That's so cool. Like, didn't you have like a big donation goal for it? Like, you raised some money from it off stream, and
yeah, because touring is really expensive. I see why people do it with their label. You know what I mean? Because like, so I did merch to like sort of help out with that, and had a dono goal, and like the community. I think we raised like $1,500. Like my community really like helped me out. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for everyone pitching in. Like it was such a crazy feeling to like have any part of the donation fulfilled, and like I'm still like crazy grateful to everyone.
That's a lot of money. Like, wasn't it? Because I hope my $5 bought you something. Like,
it totally did. It totally did. Because you know what I mean. Like, as soon as I got to the mainland, the gas prices jumped up $1, and like, it was all of that was going on right when I got there.
Oh God, God, yeah. It's like, welcome back to the mainland. We're gonna make it Hawaiian prices. Aloha.
Yeah. Totally.
Right? So was that just you alone raced 1,500, or was it collectively all you guys? Because I remember there's like a lot of you on that tour.
I had 10 stops on the tour, but no. That was just for me, for like helping me with rental cars and Airbnbs and gas money, and, like snacks. It was wonderful. It was so like, I'm so humbled for it.
So what was your first stop? Like, what was your route?
So my first stop was Halls in Indiana, and then I drove to Piperley in Ohio, and she came here a couple weeks ago because she used to live here. That's how me and Piperley was like one of my very, very first friends on Twitch.
Really?
We used, like, there was like our little gang of like 5 of us, and we would all go to each other's streams. So I went to Piperley second, and then I went to see Calvin Thomas in Maryland, and then I saw Kevin Numb the Geek in New Jersey. Then I stopped in New York City. I went to a concert, Tallest Man on Earth, and then I drove down to Cliff Stallings Music in North Carolina, and then I flew to Seattle to see Octavia, and then I drove down to see Lech in Eugene, Oregon, and then I drove down to the Redwoods, because like obviously the Redwoods. Mana, don't bark, please. He's gonna bark. I'm sorry. I'll mute if he gets too crazy.
Okay.
And then I drove down to San Francisco because the Compliments and Meow live there, and Meow is one of my like very, very first friends too, and like one of my very best friends. And it was so much fun to stream with everyone. Like, I don't know, it's like one thing seeing your like internet friends on the internet. You're like, oh my gosh, hey, I love you. But like seeing them in person and like getting to make music with them. Me and Meow practiced for like 5+ hours, and it was like that. All of a sudden his wife was like, hello, dinner. And like me and Meow were like, we're still playing, like, come on. So,
dang.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So what's it like getting together with all these other Twitch streamers and musicians? Like, was that your first time doing something like that? Or
Yeah. So it would, like I said, it was only streamers that I'd known for a long time, aside from Octavia, because Octavia fairly recently, I've only known Octavia for a couple months, but like, I don't know, we had the same vibe, and like she's just super cool, so I felt comfortable reaching out to her. But everyone else, it was someone I'd known for a long time, and I've seen them streaming, and I've seen them like interact with people, because like people are like, aren't you a little bit scared? And like for the most part I wasn't. There was like a couple times where I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this, like maybe this is a bad idea, traveling solo as a woman in the mainland United States. But I don't know, like I said, everyone so lovely, like genuinely. Some of my very, very best friends, like me and Halls, I called her the other day. Oh. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, I've made these incredible friends, and like it's just so lovely to create internet friends and then have them be like real life friends. It's very fun.
Yeah, that it's awesome when you can because like meeting somebody on the internet can be a little precarious, or I don't know if that's the right word or not. It can be a little strange sometimes. I think
it could be, for sure.
But then if you develop a genuine connection with them, because I met up with a lot of people in person on Twitch, and everyone's been amazing, and it's been quite an adventure, definitely. So
yeah.
So when I saw you and Meow, like how was your stream with him? Because I think I saw you that one the most, with him the most, I think. So you guys just meshed so well when he's playing the piano, you're playing the guitar, and you had a lot of people in there. What was that like?
It was just really fun. And like, that's the other thing, is because me and Meow have like hung out in each other's streams so much, we knew each other's song lists really well. And like, sometimes he'll be streaming and I'll just like be playing here. Like sometimes he'll like be watching me stream and we'll just play along with each other. So we kind of like already were ahead of the game in that sense, because we already knew each other's music. But it was just really easy and really fun, and it was just, maybe it was because we practiced too a lot, but it really didn't feel like practice. It was just like making music. But yeah, streaming with Meow was super, super fun. Yeah, he has a pink monitor. He's got a pink computer.
Really? That's awesome.
It was really cool to see everyone's setups too, because mine's a bit basic. It's just my computer on like a fold-up table with like a little lamp, and I kind of have to take everything down when I'm done, because like I share this house with other people, so it's like my setup has to be able to fold away, whereas everyone else has like these like stream rooms and like these monitors and like these like desks and like all this like stuff. And it's so interesting to see how they create the sounds they create, and like how they make their music. It was just a lot of fun.
Dang. So yeah, you got the simple setup going too. I just got the desk and the computers and nothing, no ring light. This is just a desk light, but
no, mine is like my light from like college. It had like a lampshade on it, but it's fallen off. It's just like a bulb on a clamp.
Hopefully one day you'll get your own house by the beach.
Yeah, hopefully one day I'll figure my life out totally.
So do you promote your stream to your IRL friends, like your family, or does any of them know you stream? Like, does that feel weird?
I don't like promote it. I'm not like, hey, catch me live. But like, if someone like, if I'm talking to someone and they're like, hey, what do you do? I don't tell them, oh, I well, like I do tell them like, oh, I work as a waitress, but like also I'm like I'm a musician, and then if they want to know more about it, they'll ask, and then I'll be like, yeah, I stream on Twitch. And so sometimes they'll be interested enough to like get the URL, but for the most part, it's just like, oh, cool. So like a lot of times they're like, are you on Spotify? I'm like, yeah, I'm on Spotify.
So on Spotify, what is your name on there exactly? Because I only have it on Bandcamp.
It's just Chapin.
Just Chapin, right?
It's just Chapin. It's just my name. Yeah, Chapin.
So like, why did you spell it like that? Is it because it was already taken, or like what is the story behind
my Twitch username?
Yeah, your Twitch username. Yeah,
it's Chapin was already taken, so I had to add those extra vowels, and that really throws people off. I don't know why they think it's an L, so it's like it's Chaplin. I'll get that a lot, or it's Chapin because like it is a unique name. But yeah, so I tried Chapin, and I tried Chapin with the double A. Then I was like, I'll just do it's, and then it's Chapin was taken, so then I had to add the vowels. Yeah.
Was that like kind of a long process to choose your name? Or was it just like, I'm gonna call myself my first name? And did you like, what was the process?
No, it did take me a while because I was kind of like nervous to like do music that people could hear and see me with it. Do you know what I mean? So at first I think I had a different username entirely, and I had my Twitch for a long time before I started streaming on it. I was just like waiting. I think I had it for like 4 or 5 months, and then you can change your username, and then like within that period of time. So then I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I might as well just use my name. And then my name was taken. So I had to do it's Chapin.
What?
Yeah, apparently there's other Chapins on Twitch. I've never interacted with them, but they exist.
Dang. It's like when I first picked 21st Pilot, like I wanted to spell with the FIRST for first, but that was taken by like this stagnant like freaking this
sleeper accounts that aren't getting used. Yeah.
So what's this album cover? Like, is this like a picture you took?
That's another like happy internet coincidence. So I made friends with a girl on Instagram. She's like so intrepid, and she just like lives so fully through her heart. And I like messaged her, and I was like, your life is so cool. I love how you live your life, and like so admirable. Like you change things that don't like work for you. Like, isn't that just crazy? Like you're unhappy with something and someone changes it. But like, that's my friend Lisa Fleming. I tried to take photos of the cover art for myself, and they just weren't turning out right. And like I sent him to Winter, and Winter's like, this is not right.
Like, what'd you have before?
It was like a picture of me. It's my Discord icon. I don't know if you can, it's like my little white picture. I don't think I have it on my phone anymore. Okay. But so I tried to take it myself, and it just wasn't working. And so I sent her a message, and I was like, would you be interested in doing something for my EP? And she was like, yeah, totally. And so then, but yeah, so she took all these amazing photos for me, and it was just perfect. Like we had a video call, and we texted, and she just captured it perfectly. So it's like a glass ball floating in the ocean. She does like a lot of underwater photography, and like there's a lot of water symbolism, I guess, from what she gathered, and just sort of the idea of like a circle within it all, and like a loop that's not closed, kind of, basically.
Wow. So I mean, that looks a little cool. Is art like something you like to do on the side, or like, is it, you said you went to art school?
I did.
What did you learn there exactly?
I was going for illustration. I wanted to be a children's book illustrator.
It's like, what happened to that? Did you ever write or create one?
We had to do one we had to take like a science class, and the only science class they offered was psychology. So we had to like analyze one of our dreams and then turn it into a children's book. So yes, technically I did do a children's book.
Cool. Like what inspired you to do that? Like, just, did you like reading them back in the day, or did you are you good with kids?
Yeah. Like, I loved children's books when I was younger, and it always made me happy when I was a kid to like have a book, and like I had favorites with like my favorite illustrations and stuff. And I think that still like influences my style today.
Oh, cool. Do you have a favorite song to perform on there, and why?
From the EP?
Yeah.
It changes. Sometimes, I don't know, like I said, sometimes I'll feel sad, and like I'll really connect with Amber, and it'll just feel nice to play it. And then other times I just love the sound of October, which sounds conceited, but like I didn't make the chords exist, but it's and I just think they sound so nice together. So it goes between Amber and October. Sometimes Slate, I'm like, I can't believe I wrote that one, but I still like it.
Wow.
Just depends.
So
Yeah,
like,
it changes.
oh, okay, so it depends on the mood. So you don't have like a solid favorite, like this is my favorite. So
No, I don't have a favorite now.
that's cool. I'm like that too. I don't have like a number one favorite anything. So it's really
Yeah.
fluctuates. What about favorites?
Amber is for sure the color of my energy, easy.
Yes, 311. There you go.
311.
Love them some 311. Did you know
For
that
sure.
Nick Hexum, the like lead singer, streams on here too? It's like,
Is he really?
yeah,
I did not know that.
he was doing like a workout stream like a couple weeks ago.
I love that.
Yeah, and also Ryan, the lead singer of Yellow Card, also streams on here.
What? That's
Yeah.
so great. See, like, I don't know. Like, Kat was saying, like, I didn't even know there's musicians. Like, and then you find the musicians, and then you find, like, musicians that, like, we idolized when we were younger and, like, probably still do. They stream too. Like, it's crazy.
And yeah, and you get to like interact with them like you can. Like normally you got to talk to them in like a meet and greet if you can pay for one or manage to get one.
Yeah.
So, and like Lindsey Sterling also streams on here. A few other musicians. Yeah, it's so cool to be able to interact with them. So, although it's funny because I see you guys as stars to me. You guys are like, I look up to you guys as like, who would you say unbiasedly, other than the people you've mentioned earlier? Do you have any other favorite Twitch streamers on here like that you follow?
Definitely everyone from tour. I love Call Sign Scarecrow, me and Maddie. Like I said, he was one of the first people I ever saw. I find him so inspiring, and like he's such a positive like part of the music community. Like he does collabs, he does like group stuff, and like we were writing a song together, and I don't know, he's just so lovely. And then one of my mods, Ellie, he always makes me laugh, and like his music taste is so specific, and like he's got such a great attitude. Like it is a little bit sassy, but it is so fun, and he's got such a kind heart. And yeah, I don't know, there's so many. I could just go on and on about everyone on Twitch.
Wow. You know who's really good on here is Kuya Sai Music. Have you seen him?
I've never caught his.
Really?
I've never caught his. Yeah.
His piano streams are just like so just chill.
Piano streams are wonderful. Oh, like Ficta. Yeah. Also, I love Ficta. Have you caught Ficta's piano streams?
I don't think so, no.
He's like a professional pianist. He does like cruises. He's like in a quartet on a cruise. So like he doesn't stream as regularly because he'll be like out at sea. But his streams are so much fun, and he's so talented. He'll be like, I'm doing a practice stream, and he's just like, I'm like, that's practice? It sounds perfect.
Because I notice you're an advocate for the indigenous people there.
For sure.
What is it about that? Are they discriminated there? Like, why are you such an activist for them?
Well, we could fully get into it if you want to get into it. But so the Hawaiian Kingdom and the history of Hawaii has existed for a really long time. And the United States came and colonized and stole the land. And so technically we shouldn't be a state. It should be its own country, but it's colonized and occupied by America, which is like a little bit controversial because we're in like Hickam Air Force. Like there's such a huge military presence here, and it's so oh
yeah, we are.
It's like a really big issue here. I mean, it is quite a like indigenous tribe, right? The Hawaiian people, yeah. So it is their land. We're just on it, and like I am white. How late you can see, it is stolen land, and so for me to be here is like a privilege for me. And so I'm going to advocate for people who have had like their rights taken away, and like they got the shitty end of the stick because like America wanted to be somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So it is a big issue here, and I have a small platform, but it's still a platform. So it definitely deserves to be spoken about, I think.
I had no idea there was such a controversy behind Hawaii being a state. I had no idea until I saw your description.
But like that's the thing is like a lot of people don't know. So I have commands in my channel. You can learn more about it, and like I have my like land acknowledgement down in the bottom if like people want to learn more about it, because it isn't something that we're taught in school. And even living here, we weren't taught about it. We had to like find this information out on our own. You know what I mean?
What were you doing in Ireland?
My sister wanted to move there, and my parents didn't want her to go by herself. And because we're Canadian citizens, we get 2 years on a working visa. So I was just waitressing over there, doing admin over there, just traveling.
Waitressing. So is that what you do now? Is that one of your jobs, or like
that's my main job right now. Tips is the way to go.
You definitely seem
it's a way to make money out here.
See, being in the back of the house myself in the food industry a long time ago, you definitely have the personality of a waitress. Like you think like you have like an outgoing personality, because you definitely do.
I'm not outgoing at all. I would never call myself outgoing.
Are you sure?
Quite not shy, but I think streaming has helped with like bringing me out of my shell a little bit, because I'll talk to anyone now, but I don't ever consider myself outgoing.
Really? Okay. You kind of have to be you're outgoing when you need to be, like in order to get those tips. There you go.
I mean, yeah, duh.
So living in Hawaii as an American, would you want to live on the mainland? Or you said like if you were to leave Hawaii one day, like where else would you want to live? Or is Hawaii home forever, would you say?
I mean, like Hawaii is definitely home. I don't think that I can live here forever. And like I feel like I have this conversation with like everyone who's like my age who lives here is like if I don't want to live with my parents, if I want my own place, I'm either gonna have to like get married or like move. And I don't know. I haven't found a place where I'm like, this could be so cool. Like when I was in Washington, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like it's kind of a similar vibe to here. People are very outdoorsy. They're very kind. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is where I want to be. And like, because I have Mana, I'm like, he doesn't really like planes. It would be hard to take him somewhere for like, maybe I'll like it here. I'd want to take him somewhere where I'm like, they have a reason to be there. Do you know what I mean?
So when you're on tour, like you kind of felt a vibe with, you went to Seattle, right?
Yeah.
You did
yeah,
a stream.
Seattle was pretty sick.
Who did you stream with there again?
Octavia. So her username is 8VIA. Octavia. Yeah, she's in Seattle. She's got the chillest vibes. We have like a similar song list. She's an amazing guitarist, and her voice is so ethereal and beautiful, and like it was so much fun to stream with her because the way she can just like create with her voice is so lovely.
Oh wow, I don't think I caught that one because I remember you were on so much during that time.
It was very busy for me too. It was like I was somewhere for 2 days and then I was already gone. So
would you want to tour like that? Like if you were to make it as a musician, like
definitely. That's like my absolute dream.
Would you like to play us one last song?
Sure. We can do October. October is still kind of the same thing, but it's definitely like an angrier vibe and more of like more thoughtful, less emotional kind of, I would say.
So check her out on Spotify, guys. Playing October, her original October song. Take it away, Chapin.
You'll find the truth in the distance, wandering, twine, tangled pine, so short of our difference. We'll forget and say that past. I still burn inside. Smoke up in empty skies. When did fast get so slow? It's not you, it's just October. Can't catch up, just really would rather go. Deep breath and it's over. Keep the quiet nights. Safe and hide behind. I hope she drives you mad. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like. I didn't mean it like. What did you mean it like? So safe and hide behind. I hope she drives you mad. I didn't mean it like that. Thank you. Anything, sweet singing.
Wow, that was very chill.
Thank you.
I was like,
Thank you.
I gotta listen to your EP again. I'm definitely gonna listen to that tonight on Spotify. So,
Thanks.
last question here. What are
Sure.
your goals on Twitch? Not just on Twitch, but what are your goals as a musician as well?
Like for Twitch, my goals probably just to keep doing what I'm doing and just have like that really like lovely community that I've always had on Twitch, where people want to spend time. And like, I don't know, if you think about it, like people can be anywhere on the internet at any given time. You can be anywhere in the world and they're like choosing to spend time with us and like requesting music and like hanging out. And like, I don't know, that feels so special. And like, I never want to lose that, because that's kind of like where I've started from as far as my music goes. And like, I would love to tour. I think as like a musician, that's probably my ultimate goal, is to like keep making new music and making stuff that makes me feel better and like resonates with people. Like putting out the EP, like people send me messages and like I don't know, it wasn't something that I expected, because it was such a big emotional thing for me to create the music, and to have people connect with it and like to tell me about it and to like trust me with that sort of stuff is insane. And it's not something that I like ever dreamed of happening. And so I don't know, I think I'd like to just keep creating music that people resonate with and like to go on tour. And
So you want to establishing a connection with others through music and through your performances. That is awesome. So you like to establish connections with others. That kind of gives you, of course, that's like the best way to connect with, establish a connection, most comfortable way possible. I can't talk right now. Still trying to get used to having a normal mouth right now, because like for the last 3 hours I just had an abnormal one. Wow. So okay, so you kind of want to keep it small, right? You don't want to get too big to where like, you know, people are gonna like run up to you randomly and ask you for a picture, an autograph, or like, I mean, how would you handle something like that?
I don't even know if I could handle that. Like that would be insane.
Is it kind of weird for you?
I think so, because like I'm just singing songs. At the end of the day, I'm just singing songs. That's all.
Was there anyone big you'd like to open for, or like go on tour with? Like,
I think I would absolutely kill to tour with the tallest man on earth. He's my absolute favorite musician ever. But I think Phoebe Bridgers would also be pretty sick to open for her.
Phoebe Bridgers, okay, interesting.
She's kind of a huge deal. I think I don't know if I think that might be out of my league. And the tallest man on earth too, obviously. But like, she plays stadiums, like that's insane.
Yeah, that would be really cool if you could manage to land a gig with one of them. Like that'd be super cool.
Yeah, like my life would be made.
Totally agree. People come to your stream and connect with you. It is so magical and unique. Out of billions, the place to be. They're there with you. Exactly. It's like, it's always flattering. Like you often hear a lot of people say on here, like, I'd rather be as like, there's so many other places on Twitch or elsewhere in the world you could be, and you're hanging out here.
Yeah.
Now being on the other side of that, like you really feel that now. It's like when somebody chooses your stream over everybody else's, because you do stream at a prime time. So it's hard to choose sometimes, but whenever Chapin's on, I'm always there. I always try to drop in and drop a work.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to take
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on to the Pilot's Lounge. You know, this is a place where we I don't often have people on here with over 1,000 followers. I try to keep it at like smaller streamers. So you're definitely made an exception for you, Chapin. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Guys, please give it up.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.